would like to add to today's agenda? Are there any pocket items anyone would like to bring forward today? Microphone, please.
Yes, I have only one pocket item, and it's going to be brought up.
Thank you. In the future, commissioners, it would be great if we could submit pocket items on the morning of the day of the commission meeting in writing, just so we can schedule the day out and look at what we're dealing with.
Nothing wrong with it.
What's that?
I mean, I agree with you.
Thank you. And all right, so we'll bring that one up as we go. All right, in the discussion item portion of the meeting.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
on that item.
Just for clarification, the administration and legal was aware of that, but you want the fellow members to know that there is a pocket.
Yes, as we move forward, if we're going to take up pocket items, rather than they come at the moment, we don't have time to look at them, study them, go through them. I'd really like to see us make a habit of trying to bring them first thing in the morning, so each of our staffs can study them, the administration can study it.
No problem.
If we're going to take up anything. Mr.
No
Mayor.
problem.
Yeah, and I would just urge the commission to look at the ordinance on pocket items. It's a very specific ordinance. If the commission wants to change the ordinance and make it more flexible for pocket items, then the commission obviously has the ability to do that. But the ordinance is very clear, and correct me if I'm wrong, Madam City Attorney, it says that pocket items are only to be brought for emergency purposes with no financial impact. And I think the reason why they do that is because we want to give the public also an opportunity, because if a pocket item is brought by anyone, including the mayor, the public doesn't have an opportunity to decide whether or not they want to come and speak on an item. So I would just ask,
or even watch. Commissioner Reyes.
Point of information, this doesn't have any financial impact. It's just something that I want to clarify, and I need information on it. And because I hope that, Mr. Mayor, that you are not implying that because it was done the way that Commissioner Rosso is saying, and that I won't be able to address this pocket item.
what I'm saying simply is that there's an ordinance on pocket items that's very, very clear.
In other words, what you're saying is that I shouldn't do anything to that, right?
The right way to do it, to comply with the law, is to just put it on the normal agenda.
Is this because, excuse me for being a little bit suspicious, is this because you know that this pocket item deals with Mel Reese golf course and the negotiations for it?
No.
Because I had never seen you jump at any other proposal for pocket item like that. So
I'm not jumping at the pocket item. I'm just simply saying there's an ordinance on pocket items.
So I'm really confused because since I have been back to this commission a little over a year, every meeting, different members of the commission have brought up pocket items. Everyone's respected each other in not bringing the 5-day rule. The mayor cannot bring a 5-day rule, only as a commissioner. But what makes us more perplexed, and what I tend to agree with Commissioner Reyes in what he stated, I'm surprised that you're bringing this up today when just last week you brought up a pocket item that had nothing to do with finances. And you brought it up only, and I didn't bring anything up because of the issue involved. I wanted to see unity, not divisiveness. But you brought it up only because you knew that I had one already placed on the record. It was in the regular agenda. The item that I had, it was very clear. And then you brought up a pocket item to try to get ahead of mine. I thought at the time about putting the 5-day rule, but I then, because I was going to give you the same respect that we've given each other. But furthermore, because of the issue involved, I didn't want to show any divisiveness. But I'm very surprised that all of a sudden, on a day like today, and particularly when not just Commissioner Reyes has his item, you know that I have some items
I don't know
that are up for discussion, and you're assuming that, or at least concerned with, and there might be some pocket items involved with it. afterwards, depending on how the discussion goes. And now you're bringing this up. You know, Mayor, if you wanted that, you should have put something in writing ahead of time. Frankly, this commission is giving you a courtesy to sit up here now, as you're doing, to speak more than you should, because we are the executive body. We are the
You're not
body
the
that,
executive body,
excuse me, you are the executive body. We are the body that promotes the laws. And you don't have a vote in this commission whatsoever. So you're entitled to your opinions and to send any requests. It's just the fact that you're bringing this up in this form. It's kind of amusing that it even violates the 5-day rule that you're talking about.
Commissioner Gore, please.
Commissioner Ori, I don't think you were here when the chairman came up with a new way that he would like to see the pocket items proposed. That's why this came out. Now that Commissioner Reyes stated what his pocket item is, I agree with it, and I'd like to hear it. So what he was clarifying, because the chairman requested that we make some changes to bring it up front at first, to give time for the administration and the staff to look at it. So that's why all this come up. I don't think they were saying anything not to hear any pocket item today. It's pocket items are going to be heard like it's been done always.
If they're pocket item, Commissioner, that have to deal with finances, I understand that. The administration should have some time to look at it because it's the city's finances. But from time to time, depending on what discussion we get into here as a body, the opportunity might arise that we see that we should vote in a pocket item at the time. And this is my concern, that policy that we have followed would be taken away. And
I don't believe that it's going to be taken away because my understanding is, and if you realize that you've been here a long time, just like I have, most of the emergency pocket items that come out of the administration.
That's true.
I mean, I would say 99% of the pocket items have become because it's an emergency and they
So,
need to get it
gentlemen,
done.
as chairman, I would like to try to maximize transparency, maximize the public's trust in us and their involvement and their ability to engage and understand what we're dealing with, and also give the administration, each of us, the ability to study and understand what's before us and what we're being discussed. We don't ever want to get caught by surprise by something that we're not prepared. We can do a little research if we know what's coming. So I do want to minimize pocket items as much as possible and push things to the next agenda when we can and when we need to. If something needs to come up that's of an emergency nature, for sure each of us is going to agree unanimously, let's talk. And we do want to give deference to each commissioner if they just have something they want to talk about as a discussion item.
I think, Chair, you used the right words. You want to minimize that, not stop it fully. And I think that's acceptable.
And if I understand correctly, Commissioner Reyes, the item is to seek a status update of some sort, or I just want to clarify, because if it's getting into the substance of the lease deal or something else, that I would rather put on an agenda and be able to give them the time to do.
I know better than that.
Just a moment, Commissioner Reyes. If it's a status update, certainly, I'd love for you to ask or direct the administration, and they can then prepare. And
I know better than that. I wouldn't wouldn't do anything otherwise. The only thing is that I want to make sure that
So
the,
I have just been given some information which could prove
the
to be
negotiations
a real
with the
bond
park, with the
that I will
between
be publishing
these people
as
that want to
soon
build
as I,
that massive development
finished copy of a portion of this morning's
here
commission
in
meeting.
Mary's, that the negotiation has
I would
started,
like to talk to you
and what
because
is
I'd like
the
to share
the
with you
status
some
of
information.
and why we haven't started. I know why it took so long, but for the past month that we had the green light was given.
Understood.
Okay, and that was the only thing, and I want to try to get a commitment that, and I'm going to be very blunt here, because that's the only way that I know how to speak. I want a commitment that this is going to be
Presto got
brought to
himself
the commission before the November election.
by
Before the November election, because it is very, I mean, as you know, a definite vote against that, it's going to be, I am up for re-election. And being up for re-election, it will be, those people that are in favor, it could be, I would say, a very nice tactic to say, oh, let's wait and see if we can get this guy out. Or the people that could feel that they could feel that going to vote against and waiting still after the election. I want to be here. I want to make sure that before the November election, we're going to bring that contract or that negotiation for a vote.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. And
Mr. Chair, if I may respond, a few of the.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, of course.
So first of all, I apologize if you both thought that there was any particular reason why I brought this discussion forward. I was simply articulating what our law is, what our ordinances state. And our ordinances are very clear. They state that there should be an emergency and that there should be no fiscal impact. I think there's no fiscal impact if the commission determines that there's an emergency reason why we need to discuss this today as opposed to in the next commission meeting. The commission has the right to do that. The commission also has the right to change the law and modify it and say that it doesn't have to be for emergency reasons. I think the reason why that pocket item ordinance exists is for transparency, so that the residents have an opportunity to come and speak on whatever item the commission wants to speak on as well. As to the pocket item that I brought last commission meeting, which was adopted unanimously, I presume that there was a finding of an emergency because it was very time sensitive. It was time sensitive because the President of the United States had recently recognized the new democratic government of Venezuela, and I thought it was an emergency, and it was very time sensitive for us to bring that pocket item, which was no fiscal impact and unanimously approved by this commission. And I have every right to stand here and say that and be on this dais as the mayor of the city of Miami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And
Mr. Sheriff, if I may, because I was addressed and
of course,
by the mayor, Mr. Mayor. You see, I was not accusing of you of anything. The only thing that it was very, very, very suspicious to me that I have seen. I mean, since I've been here for the year that I've been here, I have seen hundreds of pocket items that they are brought just out of. I mean, very impromptu. This is I have a pocket item, and I had never seen any pushback on any pocket item. Since everybody knows and the city manager knows it because I told him what I was going to be asking, it was suspicious to me that we have this pushback on my pocket item. I mean, it is. I don't think it's right because, and I don't have anything of following procedure and following the law. From now on, any pocket item that I'm going to present is going to be it's going to be according to the procedure, because if there's somebody asks about procedure here, it is me. Right. That's one of the reasons that I am not against that.
Gentlemen,
it is fishy in my.
No, gentlemen, please. I'm going to ask for.
Mr. Chairman.
Here's my goal for this moment: to get home for Valentine's Day to see my wife. I had a dream of being out by lunch. I've long let that dream go by, but I will not miss Valentine's dinner. I fully understand, Commissioner Reyes, where you're coming with on this discussion item, and I believe you handled it well in that you've given direction to the manager to bring back a status update, which he can do at the next agenda when he's gathered the information. Plus, you've had a request to see this lease sewn up by November, before November, so that this commission can take it up before November, and that's something they can also go through in their update when they bring it back on the possibility of that and their timeline and their projected plans. And I look forward to hearing that as well. So that is the discussion item, I hope. I think we've completed it.
I'm fine with that. I think that's a good process.
And Commissioner Crowe, you would like to say something?
Just one more minute on this, because the mayor tried to change what really happened with that pocket item. And I have to clarify this again. I'm sorry. You have presented practically every meeting, every other meeting at best, pocket items.
No, I haven't.
Never had a problem. Now, all of a sudden, you've gotten religion, what happened at the last meeting, I had a duly put item placed in the agenda that you did not want to see me be the one to sponsor alone, so you came with a pocket item to try to take that away from me. I did not become petty and challenge you on it. I could have placed the 5-day rule on you. I didn't do that. And what you presented was what I had waiting for on the agenda, not in a pocket item. So
It was a different item, though.
no, it was not.
Yes, it was.
It was the same item.
It was not the same.
The only thing that you mentioned that wasn't there, that he didn't mention by name, President Guaido, and with the addition
that's
that we had
significant.
included, that was presented that morning, it was included in mine also. But you didn't care about it, because you know well that if you wanted to add his name, all you had to do was say, I'd like to be a sponsor, and I'd like his name to be added, which it had already been added. You didn't do that. You did it in a way for you to try to take credit or something.
It's not
And
accurate.
I did not become petty. I did not place the 5-day rule on you. So I want to make the record clear. This is why it's extremely suspicious, why all of a sudden you're bringing this up today in the fashion that you're doing. Not even a memo sent to any of us before. You love to go visit commissioners when you have something in your agenda. Did any of us get talked to about this item?
What item are you talking about? I don't know what item you're talking about. I simply
About
said
this right here.
Gentlemen, I would like to move on, please.
Yes, but just to finalize, Mr. Sherman, I want this to be this discussion. I mean, this will be the pocket item. Fine, I'm not going to talk about this anymore now. But I want this to be a directive and make it clear. Because later on, I don't want to receive a memo that was not a directive. A directive to the manager, the next meeting, bring a report on how the negotiations are going, and make sure that this issue comes for a vote before the November election.
Well, I'd like to, if I can, with the maker of the motion, is to add something more to it.
I don't believe there's a motion. Commissioner Reyes is just giving direction to the manager to bring back an item to the next.
Or then,
If Commissioner Carrillo wants to make a motion, make a motion.
I'd like to make this in the form of a motion, so that this commission as a whole is placed on record. What Commissioner Reyes stated is what I'd like to make part of a motion with the addition. And that no outside consultants, law firms, negotiating team can be hired until this commission is advised of it, and we decide if we want to go that route or not. I don't want to see under the manager's prerogative of the $25,000 that all of a sudden someone got hired for $25,000 for whatever the reason is.
So there has been a motion.
I'll second it.
There is a second. I'll start with the discussion just to sort of nip this in the bud, because I believe this is where a pocket discussion item goes beyond where public has the ability to be prepared for this. Nobody is here to be able to comment on this item that they should have the right to do. Now that we are making a motion and taking an action, the public has a right to speak. And the motion is quite stacked. It gives easy direction for the management to come back with a status update and a timeline. That was already done. But if there's a motion, that's asking the body to lock them into the November deadline for a lease, which I'm not even prepared to understand what their timeline is to get there. So I'm not prepared for that. And then beyond that, the addition of limitations on who they can hire and when and how much. That should all be on an agenda. If that's something that we want to hold the administration to. It's something we should be able to study, they should be able to study, and the public should be able to study. So that's the only issue I have.
Well,
That's why pocket items in general, I do in the future intend to start tightening up on, not because of this one specifically.
This discussion has arisen because of the way that my pocket item was tried to be torpedoed. To say the other word. And that's why all this discussion
Right,
arises.
but I was fully comfortable allowing your pocket item. I think your direction was very clear to the management. I think there's no way they can get out of placing an item on next agenda.
Commissioner Carollo, could you consider bringing this so we go through the process of bringing this resolution later?
I have no problem placing
Bring
the
it,
next
place
agenda.
it, let's place it, let's go through
But
that.
let me say this. I think Commissioner Russell has this one a little wrong, and let me explain why, Commissioner. It is up to this commission to do that. That is our right, and it falls on us more than anyone else, including the administration. In fact, all that I'm saying is that we want our rights to be respected, because if the administration would want to do that, they would have to be the ones to then place it on the agenda, as you're saying. So I'm not doing anything different than put in a motion what our rights are and what we expect. In other words, it is not a God-given to them that they could do whatever they please. The manager is not elected by the public. We are. We're the ones that are responsible. And all that I'm saying is that I want to make clear what our rights are and what our position is. I'm not taking any rights because that, maybe I misunderstood you, and if I
This
did,
is
I
between me and
apologize.
you, for right
It
now.
almost sounded like it is their right.
I got a call just a little
Doesn't
while
only
ago.
their
telling me
right.
that Corey
We're
and
taking
Reyes
something
had
from them.
I
lunch
absolutely do agree with you,
yesterday.
and that is not what I was intending.
Melrose Golf
It's simply
Course.
for transparency and for
Really?
agendas and
So
for
clearly
time.
that ties in
Part
with
of the
whole
motion,
bullshit about the,
I would have agreed with if it was just giving
pocket
direction to
item
bring
and
something
all that
back.
stuff
Then
about
everybody has the
this.
ability to weigh in.
So I'm
The parties who
breaking with the story.
may be
I'm
interested
recording
in.
the,
But
portion of
Commissioner
this
Gord
meeting
had asked
where all
to
this
speak a few
bullshit
moments ago,
was
so I'd like to
discussed.
honor
Let
that.
me give you a suggestion. We already
You
told the
know, to
manager
include
what we
as
want
part
from
of my
him.
story.
He's gotta come back
So,
at the same time when he comes
I'm
back
gonna
with his
call,
report.
and I think
We should have an
that
agenda, a
there needs
resolution
to be
specifying all what the commission
real
has
call
to do.
here.
I do agree with you,
For
and let's make it,
investigation
in order,
as to
I mean,
those two
in
guys
sake of
that-
transparency, Commissioner Carollo, why don't we
Yeah.
prepare this for next,
I mean,
next,
No, we're
next,
not deferring, we instructed
But I, to
the
make sure,
administration
because this is
to
so,
come back with
this
a
is
report
real.
and with
So I had to
a
explain
motion,
to the guy who
a
told me this,
resolution
just what the
specifying what it was
ramifications are. I was
discussing.
scared.
Okay?
Yeah.
Report and a timeline.
A report and a resolution in the next agenda. Is that what you're saying, Commissioner Gord?
The guy who told me this did not see
Mr.
it
Chair, I
personally.
totally agree with that. That's the right procedure, that's the right way to do it.
Well, then, if we're going to go that route,
Who said, hey,
then what's good
you
for
know
one
these two guys
better be
met
good for
yesterday.
everybody.
Of course.
Because I am going to then exercise
So
the
it was
5-day
volunteered
rule.
information, it wasn't he solicited.
This is
or
what
whatever.
is going to be coming.
And I made
from
it
here
clear
on.
to this
Sir,
guy.
I'm a commissioner that created the
If
5-day
somebody
rule.
shows up at their doorstep with a badge,
The 5-day rule, sir, was around a long time before you ever.
5-day rule was modified while I was a commissioner
But
to
it
make
might
it
have-
any commissioner can invoke the 5-day
It
rule.
might have been modified, but it was around for a long,
Oh,
long
no,
time.
and I
It's
said
not
that in
the
my
way it
story.
is now, where
The fact
any one
that
commissioner
it
can
happened
invoke the
yesterday
5-day
and
rule.
this
So
happened
you have
this morning.
absolutely the ability to do that, of course.
and Mr. Chairman, just one last question, since I am not that well versed on, I haven't read all the rules and all that, because it's big. Madam City Attorney, it is on my right to bring any topic or any issue that I consider that is important on the commission meeting, just like this discussion item.
Yes, you can place any item on an agenda. You're just
It's-
talking about our regular process.
I'm talking about without having, going through that procedure that says or if I mean, we have a discussion, and I want, or if I consider that a certain topic should be discussed, can I ask for time to discuss that topic right here on the desk?
So if it's a pocket discussion, yes, you can. The only thing that I think we're all talking about is that if any of your fellow commissioners doesn't want to talk about that topic right then and there, they could exercise the 5-day rule, and that's
Yes,
just
I know, I
one,
do understand it.
only one commissioner can say, I don't want to talk about that, and then
If no commissioner exercise the 5-day rule, can I still go ahead and establish that discussion?
you can have a discussion, yes. The only thing that I believe that the mayor was alluding to is our section of the code 233 that says that we're not supposed to be bringing up things that have fiscal impacts that are not emergencies.
I made it clear that I didn't have, this work doesn't have any fiscal impact.
Right, but it has to technically be an emergency.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Has to be an emergency.
Thank you. So the direction is clear to the administration to bring back a status update and timeline for the negotiation of the Melrose deal. Correct?
Acknowledge, sir.
Thank you very much.
I agree with that.
And for the next meeting, we're gonna have a resolution.
I'll let you know as soon as I get through.
I presented before, and as
I'll send
Commissioner
you,
Ward
I'll send you
suggested, that it be
message.
placed on the agenda.
What is the resolution?
The resolution will be
Okay,
that the
Okay.
city administration cannot go hire on its own any consulting firm, any law firm, any appraisal firm, or any other entity for any reason or purpose whatsoever on the Melrose property unless it's brought to this commission for discussion and a vote.
All right, the resolution to be placed on the next agenda is clear.
Mr. Clerk?
You don't need a motion for that.
Part of the direction, no motions.
Yes.
Okay, last but not least, that's just a quick statement. Since I've been here, this commission has been respectful of one another, and no one, even though we might have had difference of opinions, no one has ever exercised the 5-day rule on anyone else. And I'm saying that because the first time it's exercised by anyone, then all bets are going to be off. And this is how it's going to be played from here on. And I just want to put it on the record.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr.